Yesterday I participated in an important executive meeting. 15 people around a mahogany table, impeccable suits, leather portfolios, calculated expressions. The CFO was presenting quarterly results when he was interrupted by the Vice President of Operations. It was not a question or relevant comment. It was a veiled criticism, disguised as a concern about methodology. The entire room noticed the palpable embarrassment in the air. The presenter, a professional with 20 years of experience, was reduced to a beginner in front of everyone. His meticulous work of weeks discarded in seconds. The Vice President was not seeking clarification. He was seeking to establish dominance. Later in the hallway, I noticed that the same Vice President smiled and flattered the CEO. Two faces of the same man. Upward, excessive adulation. Downward, calculated disrespect. Classic behavior of someone insecure with their own position. Respect cannot be bought with a black card or impressive titles. It is earned daily in every interaction, and many men are losing respect without even realizing it. You might be one of them. There are subtle signs indicating that people do not truly respect you. Signs that go unnoticed while you live under the illusion that everything is fine. Let us look at the 12 signs that reveal this harsh truth. 1. Your time is never a priority. When nobody respects your time boundaries, it is a clear sign. Meetings that start late when you are the host. People who cancel appointments at the last minute. Colleagues who expect immediate responses to messages sent outside working hours. Ryan Reynolds, in addition to his skills as an actor and businessman, is known for deeply valuing everyone's time on his sets and meetings. He establishes realistic schedules and strictly adheres to them. It is no coincidence that he is universally respected by production teams and business partners. Time is your most valuable resource. When people consistently demonstrate that your time is worth less than theirs, they are communicating a fundamental lack of respect. Observe how they react when you establish clear boundaries. If they roll their eyes, sigh, or completely ignore them, you are being subtly disrespected. And the most disturbing part, over time, you begin to believe that your time really is worth less. You start to accept the treatment as normal. True elegance requires that you value your own time first. Want to know if this is happening to you? Check how many times in the last week someone arrived more than 15 minutes late to one of your appointments without a sincere apology. 2. Your opinions are heard but never implemented. In meetings you speak and everyone seems to listen. There are nods, maybe even some notes being taken. But weeks later, you realize that none of your suggestions were implemented. Worse yet, someone reintroduces exactly your idea and receives all the credit. This is one of the most subtle and devastating signs of disrespect. People pretend to value you, but your contributions are discarded without real consideration. A respected man sees his ideas transformed into action. He does not need to fight to be heard repeatedly. True elegance is not just about speaking well, but being truly heard. Start documenting your contributions. Send follow-up emails after meetings, summarizing your ideas. When someone claims credit for your work, know how to reclaim it with firmness and elegance. How you respond to this type of disrespect defines how you will be treated in the future. Passivity only invites more of the same behavior. True power is not in having to shout to be heard, but in creating an environment where your words carry natural weight. 3. Conversations stop when you arrive. Have you ever entered a room and noticed a sudden silence? People were talking animatedly, but when you appear, the subject dies or changes drastically. This is not an accident. It is a clear sign that you are being excluded. Worse, it may indicate that you were the subject of conversation. In either case, it reveals a fundamental lack of respect. A man who commands respect changes the energy of the room when he enters, not out of fear, but admiration. People want to include him in the conversation, not protect information from him. Observe the micro gestures when you enter an environment. Exchanged glances, forced smiles, abrupt changes of subject. These are powerful indicators of how you are really seen. Elegance is not just in appearance, but in the ability to create an environment where people feel comfortable in your presence without subterfuge or secrets. If this sign is recurrent in your life, it is time for an honest assessment of how you present yourself and interact with others. 4. Your personal space is constantly invaded. In the office, colleagues take your things without asking. At social gatherings, people touch you casually without permission. At the restaurant, the waiter leans excessively over your shoulder. These space invasions are rarely accidents. They are reflections of how people assess your value and your boundaries. When your personal space is not respected, it is because you are not completely respected. Personal space is an extension of your dignity. An elegant man establishes clear boundaries, not out of arrogance, but out of self-knowledge and self-worth. Start noticing how your space is treated compared to that of others. You will see revealing patterns about the invisible social hierarchy around you. True sophistication is in defending your territory firmly, but without aggression. Posture, eye contact, and body language are your tools for establishing boundaries that others will instinctively respect. When you value your own space, others learn to do the same. 5. People assume you are available. Work messages at 11 p.m. expecting immediate response. Friends who show up at your house without warning. Relatives who demand last-minute favors, assuming you have no other commitments. When people automatically assume you are always available, they are communicating that your priorities and commitments do not matter as much as theirs. A respected man has his schedule valued. His decisions about how to allocate his time are considered important and legitimate. His no is accepted without excessive questioning. Excessive availability diminishes your perceived value. An elegant man understands that his presence should be valued, not presumed as guaranteed. Start noticing how many last-minute requests you regularly receive. Compare with colleagues and friends who occupy positions of greater respect. The difference will be revealing. Establishing healthy boundaries is not selfishness. It is a prerequisite for genuine respect. When you demonstrate that you value your own time, others will follow your example. Need to identify if this is happening to you? Count how many times in the last week someone assumed you would change your plans to accommodate theirs. 6. Your work is constantly micromanaged. In the professional environment, your boss checks your progress 3 times a day. Colleagues ask to take a look at your work before finalization. Projects are assigned to you with excessively detailed instructions. This micromanagement reveals a painful truth. People do not trust your competence, and without trust, there is no true respect. A respected professional receives clear objectives and the freedom to achieve them in his own way. His judgment and execution capacity are not constantly questioned. True professional elegance is in creating such a solid track record that your word and capability are unquestionable. When you say something will be done, people simply believe it. Observe the difference between how your work is supervised compared to your peers. Double standards of monitoring are clear signs of professional disrespect. To change this dynamic, start consistently exceeding expectations. Proactively communicate. Eliminate the need for checks by demonstrating impeccable results. Trust and respect are built gradually through consistent performance. Professional autonomy is not given. It is earned through consistent excellence and impeccable communication. 7. Your achievements are minimized. You close a big deal and someone comments, "You were lucky with the timing." You receive a promotion, and here, The main candidate must have withdrawn. You buy a new car and here, it must have been with your father's help. When your achievements are consistently attributed to luck, circumstances, or other people, it is a sign that your intrinsic value is not recognized. A respected man sees his victories celebrated on their own merit. His skills, hard work, and vision are recognized as determining factors for his success. True elegance is not just in achieving, but in cultivating an environment where your achievements are recognized for what they truly are, results of your ability and effort. Note how people react to your successes versus how they react to the successes of others. The subtle differences in language and enthusiasm reveal much about the underlying respect. Do not diminish your own achievements to appear humble. An elegant man recognizes his value without arrogance, but also without false modesty. Respect begins with yourself. If you do not value your own victories, no one else will. 8. Your name is frequently forgotten or mispronounced. In meetings, yours is the only name that needs to be repeated. At social events, introductions include titles for others but not for you. Your name is frequently mispronounced even by people you have known for a long time. These forgetfulness instances are rarely accidental. Your name is your identity. When people do not make an effort to remember it or pronounce it correctly, they are communicating that you are not a priority in their consciousness. A man who commands respect has his name remembered and pronounced correctly. His identity is valued and recognized. Elegance is in how you respond to these lapses. Correct politely, but firmly. Do not allow your name, your most fundamental personal brand, to be treated as disposable. Observe how your name is treated compared to others in your social or professional circle. The subtle differences are revealing of invisible hierarchies of respect. To command more respect, start pronouncing the names of others correctly. This simple act of consideration establishes a reciprocal expectation of respect. The way your name is treated is a precise barometer of your social status in any group. 9. Your needs are treated as inconveniences. At the restaurant, your special request due to allergies is received with sighs. At work, your request for necessary equipment is treated as a luxury. At home, your preferences are the first to be sacrificed when conflicts arise. When your legitimate needs are consistently treated as optional inconveniences, you are experiencing a profound form of disrespect. A respected man sees his needs treated with the same consideration given to others. His preferences are not automatically relegated to the last position. True elegance is in communicating your needs with clarity and confidence without appearing demanding or insecure. It is a skill that few men master. Start noticing how your requests are received compared to those of other people. The difference in response, the energy, the promptness, the attitude reveals volumes about how you are seen. To change this dynamic, start expressing your needs with the calm certainty of someone who expects to be attended to. Do not apologize for occupying space or having preferences. Respect is not asked for, it is expected, and that expectation communicates itself in every interaction. 10. People interrupt you constantly. During meetings, you are interrupted in the middle of sentences. In social conversations, you can barely develop a thought before someone takes the floor. Your stories are cut off, your explanations abbreviated. These constant interruptions are not coincidences. They are tangible manifestations of how your speaking time, and by extension, your ideas, are valued. A man who commands respect finishes his sentences. His right to express complete thoughts is recognized and protected by the group. Elegance is not just in speaking well, but in creating a space where your voice has weight and consideration, where your verbal presence is respected. Observe how the dynamics of interruption work in your social or professional circle. Who interrupts whom? Who is allowed to speak without interruptions? These patterns reveal the true hierarchy of respect. To change this pattern, learn to politely reclaim your speaking time. As I was saying, or allow me to conclude, my unthought of powerful tools when said with the calm authority of a man who expects to be heard. The way you respond to interruptions defines how your voice will be treated in the future. 11. Your style and appearance are targets of jokes. Colleagues make comments about your new suit, not as compliments, but as jokes. Friends make observations about your haircut or style choices disguised as humor. Family members question why you try so hard with your appearance. These jokes are rarely innocent. They are attempts to diminish your value and undermine your confidence. Reflections of others, insecurity disguised as humor. A respected man can be the target of genuine humor, but never of constant ridicule about fundamental aspects of his identity and personal choices. True elegance is not just in dressing well, but in creating an environment where your refinement is admired, not belittled. Where your commitment to excellence inspires, not threatens. Observe the difference between healthy reciprocal joking and targeted comments that systematically undermine your confidence. The line between humor and disrespect is thin, but discernible. When confronted with these jokes, do not react with anger or insecurity. Respond with the unwavering confidence of someone who does not need the approval of others to validate his choices. An elegant man understands that often criticisms of his style are unconscious confessions of others. Insecurity. 12. Your emotional intelligence is seen as weakness. You show understanding for a colleague in difficulties and are called soft. You express preference for peaceful conflict resolution and are labeled as weak. You show authentic vulnerability and see looks of discomfort or disdain. In a society that still confuses emotional coldness with strength, your developed emotional intelligence can be erroneously interpreted as fragility. A truly respected man does not need to hide his humanity to appear strong. His ability to understand emotional nuances is recognized as a superior form of intelligence and leadership. Authentic elegance is in navigating the emotional world with sophistication and confidence, not in pretending it does not exist. True leaders inspire through genuine connection, not through artificial distance. Observe how your emotional expression is received compared to more aggressive or cold behaviors. The difference in response reveals much about the values of your environment. An elegant man does not abandon his emotional depth to fit into antiquated definitions of masculinity. He redefines strength as the ability to be fully human without apologies. True strength never needs constant proof. It simply exists, calm and unwavering. As you can see, respect is communicated through thousands of subtle daily interactions. It is not polite words that matter, but consistent behaviors that reveal how you are truly valued. The good news? Respect can be regained. Start by establishing clear boundaries. Continue demonstrating consistent excellence. Remain true to your values without seeking external approval. An elegant man commands respect, not by verbally demanding it, but by creating an environment where disrespecting him would be unthinkable. If you want to transform your elegance into genuine power, subscribe to the Man of Elegance channel right now. Activate the bell to be notified when new videos are released. Leave your like if you are committed to becoming a man who naturally commands respect in any environment. Each sign we discussed today is an opportunity to recalibrate how the world perceives and treats you. Respect is not asked for. It is commanded through consistent actions, clear boundaries, and unwavering excellence. your journey to genuine. Respect begins today. Which of these signs did you identify in your own life? Comment below, true respect, if this video opened your eyes to dynamics you had not noticed before. Until the next video.